Hi, this is Dale Guiducci with ERA Credit Services, and I just started a new video series because before and for years I talked about how to start a credit repair business. Now I'm moving into how to run or how to operate a credit repair business. So this is the second video in a new series about how to run and how to operate a successful credit repair business. And in the first video, I started with marketing. We're going to stay on that topic in this video, but in the first video, it was all about your warm market because that's a great place to start. So we're moving past warm market and we're going to talk about another phase of marketing in this video, and that is working with referral sources, working with professionals in what we call credit-related industries, mortgage industry, the real estate industry, the automobile industry, the solar industry, banking, because those people have folks that come to them that want to do what? Buy a home or buy a car or put solar on their roof or get a credit card or a business loan, and they can't qualify because of credit score. And you can be the solution for that professional that's losing business all the time because their prospects can't qualify because of credit score. And what's awesome about it, it's a win-win-win situation for everyone involved. That's what this video is going to be about. You stay tuned. So welcome back. I'll tell you, to start out with, in 2012, when I started this business, I wanted to develop a business where business was coming to me. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yeah, I wanted to have people searching me out. So I came up with the idea that there are people out there that need to have folks that have a certain credit score to qualify to do business with them. But I had to research it out. I had to find out, was that really going to work? So first of all, I Googled how many real estate agents, and I was in San Diego at the time, how many licensed real estate agents in San Diego County? Now, San Diego County is a fairly large place, but there were 18,000 licensed real estate agents in San Diego County. And I'm going, okay, that's a good market, because on top of that, we got mortgage and auto and solar and banking. And I mean, that's huge right there. But I've also had to understand, did these people have a problem? In other words, did these people have people coming to them with a credit score that couldn't qualify for a home loan, as an example, in the case of real estate agents and mortgage brokers? And so I had to find out. So I started making some phone calls. I started reaching out to people that I knew and asking them if they knew people in the real estate industry and all of that, so I could get some people to talk to. And the bottom line was that I found out very, very quickly that just about every single real estate agent and mortgage person I talked to had the problem of people not being able to qualify because of credit score. And in addition to that, they didn't have a solution for it. And guess who became their solution? I did, and you can too. So it's fairly easy to have a conversation with a real estate agent. And again, we could talk about a lot of different professions that are like real estate agents and they need credit-worthy clients. But let's keep on topic with just the real estate agent, and you can transfer that or translate that into any profession that we're discussing today. But it's fairly easy to have a conversation about real estate agents, but you've got to find real estate agents, right? So when I first got started in the business, I didn't know a lot of people in the real estate industry. So one thing, as I mentioned, that I did was I asked people that I did know if they knew somebody in real estate. And I explained to them why, because I now had a new business. I had a credit repair business, and I could help their credit challenged clients. You can put that however you want. I could help their credit challenged clients, people that couldn't qualify because of credit score. I could turn them into qualified buyers. So not only could I help the consumer, but I could also help their friend that's in the real estate industry close more business and earn more income. Now that did two things. First of all, I got some referrals out of it. In other words, yeah, I've got a friend of mine in the real estate industry, gave me their name and number and so forth. And then, by the way, that's a great little warm contact now, because I could call that real estate agent and say, hey, do you know Bill Jones, as an example? And they'd say, yeah, I know Bill. Well, Bill, you're a mutual friend of Bill, and so am I. So we had something in common, and that kind of opened up the door and eased the conversation, and then I could kind of get into talking with them. So it did that. But the other thing that it did, and pay attention to this, is that as I'm talking to my friend, telling him why I'm asking him about if they know anybody in the real estate industry, my friend now becomes aware that I'm in the credit repair business. So if they need me, or they know other people that need me because of credit score or other things financially, they now know what I do. And I got some business out of that. And they said, well, yeah, I know somebody in real estate, but tell me more about what you do with credit repair because I have some credit score challenges. So it's a great thing to do. Now, in addition to doing what I just shared and talking to your friends and finding out who they know in real estate, you got to go where real estate and mortgage people are. You got to get out there, right? And a couple of things that I did. First of all, I went to a lot of business networking meetings. Now, I'm going to cover business networking in the next video, so I'm not going to go into total detail on that. But I will tell you, if you go to business networking meetings, and you can find them in your area, every single business network meeting, with rare exception, will have a real estate agent, and we'll have a mortgage broker, and we'll have a banker. So you have people to talk to. So you can go to business networking meetings. The other thing that I did is I just was trying to think in my brain, where do real estate agents hang out? Well, where they hang out is with other real estate agents and at the board of realtors. So I discovered pretty quickly that boards of realtors have, sometimes, not all of them, but they have affiliate programs. So in other words, a real estate agent will be a member of the board of realtors, but the board of realtors will have these programs where people that can do things for real estate agents, like home inspection or home staging or mortgage business or credit repair business, that we can join as an affiliate, and we can go to these certain meetings where there are just tons of real estate people. I'll give you an example. When I moved out here to the Tampa, Florida area 4.5 years ago, I kind of had to reinvent the wheel because I didn't know anybody here at all, and I joined the local board of realtors as an affiliate. There were 6,800 licensed real estate agents affiliated with that particular board of realtors, and started going to meetings and meeting a ton of people, not only in real estate, but mortgage, the title business, and all of that. So we quickly got our name out. So that's another great suggestion for you right there. So again, I'm going to cover the topic of going to networking meetings and that whole business networking world, which is absolutely huge, by the way. I'm going to cover that in the next video. But here's the tip about meeting people for the first time in a networking environment, whether it's a business networking meeting or you're going to a board of realtors meeting or something of that kind. Keep the conversation about them, first of all. So when you're meeting somebody for the first time, it's not necessarily the opportunity for you to go, this is what I do, and explain and explain and tell all about you. What I've found with people is that you've got to get them to like you first and trust you first before they'll listen to you. And one of the best ways to do that is to ask them about them. Keep the conversation about them, whether it's personal stuff. So do you live in the, how long you lived in the area? You know, do you have family, and go down that path? Or talk about their business. If someone's in real estate, talk about their real estate business. Now, you don't have to be an expert in real estate, but you can ask them, how's the market? You know, do you work with first-time home buyers? What area of the county do you work in? All those types of things. So keep the conversation about them and keep it brief. Now, you'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself, that you are who you are and you're in the credit repair business. Now, if they get really super interested in talking to you about credit repair, because again, they have a problem, and you know, if they're in real estate, they do have that problem with credit challenge clients. What I did is I would simply get their business card. I would get their business card. Now, yes, you want to give out business cards, but get their business card. That's the most important thing, because now you have their information. You can follow up with them later. And I would tell them that. I said, you know what? There's a long story behind that. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Maybe we can meet for coffee. Maybe I could drop by your office. So why don't you give me your card and let me give you a call, and we'll set up another time to meet. Now, I did that for two reasons. Number one, I didn't want to appear overly anxious or salesy or any of that. And I wanted to keep the conversation about them, but I'm in an environment where there's a lot of other people to meet. So instead of spending all my time with this one person appearing too anxious and salesy, I kind of took it away a little bit and said, I'll give you a call and we'll set something up, and that way I can devote all my time to you. But I wanted to go and meet some of the other people. So there's some good tips about networking, and again, I'll cover a lot more of that in the next video. Now, when you are having conversations with people in these credit-related fields, real estate, mortgage, banking, auto, solar, etc., you want to have a go-to question, right? You want to have the ability to open up the conversation to what it is that you do. Like I said, you want to meet them, have a conversation about them, but find out that they're in real estate, talk to them a little bit about real estate, the market, and so forth. And then do this. Have this question, and you can phrase it however you want, but this is the way I would do it. And it's a lot about how you ask the question as well as what you say in the question. And here's what I mean. So I'm having a conversation with somebody in real estate. I'll say, let me ask you a question. I'm curious, does it happen that somebody wants to buy a home and you're talking to them and you get into that relationship and you find out that they can't qualify for that home because of credit score? Does that ever happen? Now, the fact of the matter is you know the answer to the question. The question is yes. I've rarely found, when I say rarely, like I could count on one hand in the last 6.5, 7 years, the number of real estate agents that say, no, that never happens to me. In fact, I can't even remember one at this point. So it happens. Now, it may happen occasionally to that person. It may happen all the time to that particular agent, but it happens. So you just ask the question, does that ever happen? Do you have these people? And the answer is yes. So you just ask the question that you know is absolutely yes, and that is really cool. And you could say, and then you could follow up and say, well, listen, we definitely need to talk because that's what I do. I help people and work with real estate agents and mortgage brokers and other people in credit-related industries. I help their clients get in a position to be a qualified buyer. Now, would that be of interest to you if I could help you close more business, close more escrows this year? And of course, again, you could phrase it however you want, but that kind of question, and of course the answer is going to be yes. Yes. So now you've got their attention. Now you've got their interest. That's when you get their business card and you say, listen, let's meet at your office, or let's meet at Starbucks, or wherever you want to meet them, to now do a one-on-one sit down and really talk about the challenges that they have and how you can overcome those challenges. Now, it could be that the real estate agent, of course, had the thought prior to that they should be referring people to a credit repair company, but maybe they never really came across a credit repair company, because I'll tell you, when you go to these types of meetings, you're typically the only credit repair company in the room or credit repair person in the room. And that's a good thing because you become the most popular person in the room, right? So you may be the first credit repair person that they've met with in a long, long time. So therefore, there's a lot of opportunity in doing what I'm telling you to do. So they may have not found anybody before. Or you know what, maybe in days gone by, they did refer people to a credit repair company and they didn't get the result they were looking for. Or the company or person that they were working with never got back to them in terms of following up to letting them know what was happening with their client. It became frustrating. They really got nothing out of it. They weren't closing any business out of it, and they stopped that relationship. So you have to be prepared, right? So once you have this meeting with somebody, and whenever that meeting is, you could definitely do it at the networking event. I suggest you don't, but you could do it there. You could do it subsequently later at a different time. When you do have this meeting, you have got to impress them. And you have got to be different than other credit repair companies. You can't be a Me Too credit repair person or credit repair company in this industry. You've got to have some things that are done different than the Lexington Laws and the creditrepair.coms and the Sky Blue Credits and the ABC Credit Company in your local area. What do you do differently? And you've got to be prepared to verbalize what I call those differentiators. What differentiates you from somebody else? What's going to make that real estate agent sit up, perk up, and go, wow, I want to do business with this person. Now, sometimes it has to do with you, like your personality, your enthusiasm, your passion for what you do. But it's also got to be about something that you do as a credit repair company that is different than anybody else out there. So you want to think long and hard about that and be prepared to have that conversation. Now, our particular business model and our company, we've got many different differentiators, and I found it to be invaluable to have those things. And that's why I'm telling you that, again, you've got to do something different. If you're just kind of the same old, me too kind of credit repair company, you've got to come up with some things that you're going to do differently for the client, that you're going to do differently for that real estate agent to make it a compelling reason to refer people to you. That's extremely, extremely important. Our company, we've got several things, very easy to delineate those things, list those things, and really impress that real estate agent. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever been in a situation that I've gotten this far in a conversation with somebody in a credit-related industry where they weren't really super interested in working with us because of those differentiators. Okay, so let's say you have those differentiators, you have the conversation, and you wowed them, you impressed them, and they want to send their credit challenged clients to you. You've built this relationship. So you might be thinking to yourself, wow, success, right? Nope, not quite yet. You still have some work to do. One of the things about in business today, and I don't know whether it's because people haven't been taught or they're lazy or whatever the case may be, is that, and this happens a lot with real estate agents and mortgage brokers, and I guess people in all different types of professions, is in terms of how they give you a referral. A real estate agent is typically going to ask you, do you have any business cards or brochures that you could give me, or stop by my office and leave with me? Because if I have somebody that can't qualify, I want to give them your business card. Now, what they're thinking is, I'll give my credit challenged client a business card for you, and they will call you based on that business card. No, that's not a referral in terms of working with that person. That's a suggestion to that person. That's not a referral. What a referral is that they edify you and they talk about you and they say, listen, you need to work with my guy, John. Here's the name of his company. And when I have people in the same situation as you, I move them over to John. He's an expert at what he does. Do you mind if I take your information and I give your information to John and I can have him give you a call? Now, that's a referral. So you've got to teach your referral source how to give you a proper referral, because if they do their job, you're already edified. You already have credibility. You already have some trust by the time you get on the phone with that person, and you're in control because you have that person's information and you can call them and move the thing along. So that's super important. But even if you do that, your job still isn't done, because you have a contact in the real estate industry and you could leverage that contact into many different contacts. Here's what I mean. So you have a real estate agent. The question you want to ask them is, do you work in an office? Let's say they do. How many people work in your office or associated with that office? Oh, 50 or 20, or if it's Keller Williams, maybe 250. They work in an office with a lot of other real estate people. Well, listen, do you have other people that you know that are in the same boat that you are, that have credit challenged clients that I could talk to? Of course they do. They know other real estate agents in the office that are in the same boat, and most of the time they're very happy to refer those people over to you. So you could say, who should I speak to? And they'll give you some names and numbers. That's number one. Number two, you want to ask them, does your office have a situation where you have vendors or partner relationships come in and speak to the entire office about what they do? A lot of times they will. Certainly Keller Williams does, and other offices do as well. You want to find out if they do those kinds of things so you could go in and speak to the entire office about what you do. So you want to ask them, who would be the person I should speak to get on the calendar to be able to come in and talk to the whole office? That's another great thing that you could do. But you're still not done, because there's another avenue that you can go. Understand, every single real estate agent that is working their business and is a professional at what they do, they're associated with at least 1, 2, or possibly 3 mortgage brokers. In other words, people that they go to. They find someone that's interested in buying a home. The first thing that they're going to do is get them qualified, right? So they've got these go-to mortgage people that they'll send people to, and if the person qualifies, that's who's going to get the loan. If they don't qualify, of course, then that's when the person's going to come to you. But they've got relationships with mortgage people. Wouldn't it be great if you had the relationship with those mortgage people? So ask them. Do you have, one or two mortgage people that are your go-to people? Yes, I do. Great. Would you, do you mind if I give them a call and see if I can help them with some of their other clients as well? And again, most of the time, yeah, they go, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And they'll give you names and numbers. So out of this one contact that you made at the board of realtors meeting or at the business networking meeting, you could get 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. I will tell you that what happened for me when I first got started in the business is I leveraged these contacts into 4 offices, 4 real estate offices that I became the credit repair trainer. So they would recruit, of course, new real estate agent licensees, people that just got their license, and they would call me in to train those people on credit and credit repair, and I got a ton of business out of it. So if you work this, if you work it and you work it well, you will have a ton of business, or can have a ton of business coming in from doing these kinds of things. So in order to run a successful credit repair business, in my opinion, this is a marketing effort that you absolutely want to pay attention to. Not only is there a prolific number of real estate agents and mortgage brokers and so forth that you can go out and talk to that have tons of people that need you, and you get the credibility from the real estate agent referring you and all of that. You typically have a motivated client. So in other words, you get on the phone with a client, they just got turned down. It's a very emotional thing. When people are buying a home or want to buy a home, they typically save up for a long period of time. They get their heart set on it. They've been thinking about it for months and months and months, and then oops, they get turned down. So they're very disappointed. They're very emotionally attached to the whole thing, and they're very motivated to get that credit score fixed. And here's the other thing. If they've saved up money to buy a home, typically they've got the down payment money, right? Well, they can take some of that down payment money and certainly afford your services. So that's a great, great thing to do. Now, I will tell you, I talked all about real estate and mortgage. Another great industry of professionals that you can talk to is the solar industry. The solar industry. Now, that may not be self-evident that solar is a good place for you to go, but it is, because the credit score needed for someone to finance a solar installation on their home is typically higher than it is to buy the house itself. It might be 650, it might be 680, it might even be 700 depending on the finance company. So you have solar companies, and once you talk to people in the solar industry, you'll learn either from the solar salesperson that gets into the home and sells the solar, but takes the application back and finds out that 50% of their clients don't qualify because of credit score. I spoke with management, a manager of a solar company, and he had shared with me that they had lost about $50 million in sales that year because people didn't have the credit score to qualify. So that's another good avenue for you to go. The challenge with that is that you typically won't find solar people at business networking meetings. And I don't know why, but I don't believe I've ever met anybody in the solar industry that thought that it would be a good idea to go out and network with other people. So you're gonna have to, again, ask your friends or ask people, or maybe get on the phone and just call some solar companies, but definitely keep your ears perked up and your eyes open for people in the solar industry for you to talk to. Now, another industry that most often people, say, oh, the automobile industry, because it's very, obvious that people need to qualify for an automobile loan. And they say, okay, well, that would be a good industry to go after. I disagree. I disagree. Now, if you have experience in the automobile industry, you were in that industry, and you have some insights, some connections, some contacts, and so forth that I don't have, then you might differ. Your opinion may differ. But from an outsider of somebody that wasn't in the automobile industry, I find it very, very difficult. First of all, difficult to get their attention. They're always busy. They're always running around. They're always in sales mode. So when you walk onto the lot, like they want to sell you a car, and if you don't want to buy a car, they kind of want to ignore you a little bit. Now, I've had some meetings at automobile dealerships, don't get me wrong, but the major problem that I see with it is they're all about selling units this month. It's like, if it's June, 5th, they want to make sure they can sell as many units by June 30th as possible, right? And if what you're doing isn't going to get them a sale this month, they lose interest. or they do refer people to you and they're constantly calling you all the time. Are they ready yet? Are they ready yet? Are they ready yet? And as you probably know, it takes some time to help increase somebody's credit score, and you're not necessarily going to turn somebody back around to a car dealership within 3 weeks or so. So the thing about automobile dealers, if that was the only industry on the planet that I could work with, I would find ways to work with them. But I find that there's so many people in real estate and mortgage, in the solar industry, in the banking industry as well. There's so many people, and they're just easier to work with, that I tend to stay with those industries. So again, and in closing, this is a big, big world for you to go after to be successful in the credit repair industry for sure. So I encourage you to do that. Put a marketing plan together to get out there and meet some people, and start with real estate and mortgage and maybe branch off into solar and banking and so forth. But get some contacts out there of people that are referring business to you. So if this was valuable information, please like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell, because people don't know sometimes, when you hit the bell, when you click on that bell, now not only have you subscribed, but you are going to get notified of every new video I make. And I'm going to be making a lot of new videos about how to run, how to operate a successful credit repair business. The next one I'm going to come out with is business networking, and that's a whole different world as well. We're going to get into details on that. So I hope this video was valuable for you. You enjoyed it, and you have yourself a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Top